You probably think you only have one soul, the thing that makes you you. But according to ancient Chinese belief, that's adorable. Because in their world, you actually have 10. 3 souls and 7 spirits, all squeezed into this fragile body, constantly arguing over who's in charge. One wants to meditate, one wants to sleep, one just wants hot pot. This wasn't a joke back then. It was how the ancient Chinese explained everything. Why some people lose their soul after a shock, why you feel like you've traveled somewhere in your dreams, and why the dead can linger around as ghosts long after the body's gone. They believed that death isn't a switch turning off, it's a negotiation breakdown between all your inner spirits. And once that meeting goes badly, well, that's when your souls literally scatter to the winds. To understand this whole 3 souls, 7 spirits thing, you have to first step into how the ancient Chinese saw life itself. They believed a person was built from 2 cosmic forces: the breath of heaven, light, pure, rising upward, and the breath of earth, heavy, physical, sinking downward. When these 2 breaths met, boom, consciousness was born. The heavenly breath became your Hun, the souls that think, dream, and wander. The earthly breath became your Po, the spirits of animal energy that eats, fights, and does other biological things. So, as long as the souls and spirits cooperate, you're alive. When they fall out of sync, you get sick. When they divorce completely, that's death. The ancients described it beautifully, as your souls drift back to the sky and your spirits sink back to the dirt. Death is basically your Wi-Fi disconnecting from your body. The ancients said, we carry 3 souls, the bright, the emotional, and the shadow. Together, they make up the part of you that dreams, thinks, and remembers you exist. The first is called the original light. It's the spark that makes you conscious, the voice that says, hey, I'm alive. It's calm, rational, and hates drama. Without it, you're just a walking bag of meat and reflexes. The second is the emotional soul. It's the one that sneaks out at night, exploring the dream world while your body lies still. It collects memories, mixes them with fears, and plays them back as bizarre movies in your sleep. That's why, in ancient belief, dreaming wasn't random. It was your soul taking a stroll outside. The third is the shadow soul. It's the part of you that whispers dark thoughts when you stare too long into the mirror. It understands silence, intuition, and secrets you'd rather not admit. If any of your 3 souls were to become a ghost after death, this would be the one. Together, these 3 form your upper world, the thinking, emotional, and haunted side of being human. If the 3 souls are your angels, the 7 spirits are your inner animals, loud, hungry, emotional, and occasionally stupid. They're earthy, emotional, and deeply inconvenient. Without them, you'd be a saint. With them, you're gloriously alive. Let's meet them. First, the corpse dog, the one that guards your life. It's your primal survival instinct, the sense that jerks you away from a falling object or a shady alley. It's also the reason your heart races before your brain even knows why. Second, the hidden arrow, the spirit of alertness and reaction. It keeps your senses sharp, reading the room, catching subtle sounds, noticing tension before anything happens. If the corpse dog is the one that bites when danger strikes, the hidden arrow is the one that sees it coming. Third, the sparrow shadow, the engine of desire. It drives sexual attraction, reproduction, and those late-night texts you regret in the morning. When this one takes over, logic goes on vacation. Fourth, the devouring thief, your hunger and greed. It keeps you eating, craving, collecting, consuming, not just food, but money, comfort, attention, validation. It's the whisper that says, just one more bite, one more scroll, one more thing. Fifth, the non-poison spirit, the embodiment of anger and defense. It's the one that growls when you're cornered, the force that makes you fight back when pushed too far. Without it, you'd be a doormat. With too much, you're chaos. Sixth, the filth remover, the spirit of cleansing. It governs excretion and detox, but also emotional release, crying, sweating, letting things go. When this one's blocked, you hold grudges and toxins alike. Seventh, the foul lungs, the spirit of grief and fatigue. It makes you sigh, mourn, and process loss. It's the quiet one that drains color from the world when your heart feels heavy. When the 7 Po are strong, you're full of energy, passionate, reckless, and ready to fight the world. When they weaken, you feel detached, pale, like your life force is leaking out through your eyes. The ancients believed that keeping these 7 beasts in check was the real challenge of living. So, what happens when your 3 souls and 7 spirits try to live together in the same body? Imagine a group project where 3 people want enlightenment and 7 just want snacks. That's basically the human condition. The 3 souls, light, calm, and thoughtful, pull you upward. They crave meaning, creativity, and a sense of peace. The 7 spirits, earthy and loud, drag you downward into hunger, lust, anger, fear, and survival. When they work together, you get balance, a grounded mind in a lively body. When they fight, you get everything else: anxiety, obsession, emptiness, even madness. The ancients believed most mental illness wasn't in your brain. It was your souls and spirits literally falling out of sync. Dreams? That's when one of your souls takes a walk while the rest stay home. Sleep paralysis? That's when your body wakes up before your souls return. And possession was thought to be what happens when a stranger's wandering soul slips into the gap you left open. The goal of life wasn't to be pure or holy. It was to keep the 10 parts of yourself on speaking terms. Because the moment they stop talking, you begin to fade. In traditional Chinese belief, death isn't a single moment, it's a process. As the body weakens, the 3 souls begin to rise, and the 7 spirits start to fade. The system that once worked in balance slowly breaks apart. The 3 heavenly souls leave first. They're light and mobile, so they drift upward toward the spiritual realm. The earthly spirits stay with the body because they belong to the physical world. That's why ancient funerary rites often focused on calling the soul or settling the spirits to help the spirit components separate cleanly instead of wandering in confusion. If a person died suddenly or violently, the souls might not leave properly. One could linger near the body or the place of death, becoming what people called a wandering ghost. This was less about horror than about unfinished business. The idea that part of the person's energy refused to move on. Once the souls return to the heavens and the spirits merge back with the earth, the person is considered truly gone. Reincarnation, in this view, happens only after the separation is complete. In short, the souls ascend, the spirits dissolve, the balance resets. It's a simple but elegant model of life and death, a reminder that existence, to the ancient Chinese, was never about one immortal soul, but about keeping many moving parts in harmony until it's time to let them go. That's it for the 3 souls and 7 spirits. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Love you.